morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for all the support with the Volvo videos. Kind of was expecting them to be a little bit popular because I think there is a little bit of a cult following for these cars. So the car did fail inspection the first go around. We have safety down here where I live. We don't have emissions. So what it failed on was the inner tie rod ends, which I was kind of surprised by. I figured the outer tie rod ends would be what would fail the car because the boots are torn on those. And then also the muffler. The muffler has a hole in it. So I got parts for that. And actually I got a plethora of parts. I got quite a bit of stuff to do on this car. The rain finally cleared up. It stopped. It is wet. It is a little bit cold. So if I'm sniffly in this video, that's why. And I do have a dog back there. So let's go over the parts I got. As you can see, it's kind of been Christmas here at my place. So the car failed for inner tie rod ends, which are, check out here. And this car here has a ZX rack. There's 3 different racks that come in this car. One is you got a ZX, which my car has. You have a cam, and then you have a TRW. So make sure when you're ordering parts for this car, any parts for this car, you make sure you do your research. Make sure you get the correct parts. So like the brake. So I got brake rotors coming. I got rotors and pads coming for this car. So this car has AT front or rear calipers with Girling front rotors, and the front rotors on this car are like 287 millimeters. So when you buy parts for this car, especially brakes, make sure you're getting the right stuff. So let's go over what I got. I got inner tie rod ends, outer tie rod ends. I got sway bar end links here because those are completely trashed. I got a new high pressure. I got a new pressure line for the power steering pump. The shocks came with the car. Got a new muffler. I got an inner tie rod end tool. Got a thermostat because the one I have isn't working. New master brake cylinder because that one's leaking. New bellows for the steering rack. And then in here, these are for the sway bar stay. I don't know if I'll get to that this week or not. We'll see how far we get. And I still have other parts coming. I got, like I said, I got pads and rotors coming for it. I also got sway bar bushings. Might as well replace those. So I got a crap ton of parts to put on this car. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get set up, get all the tools out here, and we're gonna get cranking on this thing, and hopefully, the very least, get the inner tie rod ends out tonight because that would help me out a lot. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get this outer tie rod end bolt loose here, or nut. I did hit with a little bit of PB blast to kind of help it when I do get it loose. So as we got here, it's probably 17. Nope, it's 18. Alright, I'm back. I got the right tool this time. The toolkit I got doesn't have a deep well 18 in it. Go figure. Put it on here. Oh, there we go. Alright, so I got a little bit loose. So the next thing I'm going to do is do a little tap on top here. Now I'm not going to, shouldn't have to beat the crap out of it. This is a 4-pound sledge, so. There we go. Alrighty, so to get the inner tie rod end off, I need to get this bellow out of the way. And it's got these little metal ear clamps on here. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to cut the clamps. I'm not going to reuse them, so I'm not too worried about it. So that's loose. There's a tie rod. It's right there. There it is. Alrighty, so here's where the inner tie rod end connects to the steering rack, and then you got your gears right there. That's why you need a steering bellow, so you can cover these gears up so they don't get all rusted. So go ahead and get this right out of the way, rest of the way. And you can see they're pretty kind of loose in there, a little loosey-goosey. So we'll go ahead, we'll get our inner tie rod end tool, put it on here and try to crack that loose. So the one thing you want to make sure you do is you got it at a good position where you can get some leverage on it with your whatever you're going to use to take it off here, whatever you're going to use here. So let's go ahead, let's crank down these bolts as best we can, get enough bite on it, and then see if we can crack that loose. There we go. That was really easy. I'm really happy about that. Usually with me, it's just all chaos. You know, something's just really stuck on there. That works like a charm, so we'll go ahead. This tool off here. I probably will have to tap this with a hammer again just to get it out. Now, the one thing I am working on doing is I'm working on trying to find a shop space. There's a little bit far and few between out here. So these are done. I'm gonna go get our new ones. Alrighty. So it's our new outer tie rod end here. So you can see how nice and tight it is, and the boot is not collapsed. And then you cut, here's this one. I mean, so let's go ahead, take this lock nut here, screw this on. Alright, so I think while I got all this out of the way, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to replace these sway bar end links here. As you can see, they're Dunskies. So let me find out what size those are. Well, the weather has been pretty crappy today. And everybody knows, all the guys I know that have worked outside, y'all get it. That didn't work. There we go. Voila. And it's drizzling out, so it's great. Another winter day in southeast Missouri, but I guess that's what I get for trying to do this crap in the wintertime. Alrighty. Let's screw it back in. One part's gonna be getting this bellow on all the way around. Alrighty. There we go. There we go. Like I said, I will be getting this car aligned, so it's not I might have turned out just a little bit more, but we'll get it aligned, get it done right. I'm going to use one of my most hated tools, is a crescent wrench. I can't tell you how much I despise crescent wrenches. I know they probably have their uses, but so apparently my GoPro decided to run out of battery. So. Alright. Well, let's be stubborn. Well, that was a lot easier. I didn't even need the jack. Alrighty. So I'm going to keep the nut on here. So that way when I loosen all the other stuff up, it doesn't come off. Tie rod ends right there. Look at that. Time for going to reuse the boots. Obviously don't do this. But I'm not reusing the boots. I'm not worried about it. Can't wait to have a lift 2 one of these days. I'll tell you that much. There's that. There we go. Yep. All right, so let's take a look at this. Look at a light. So I can take a look at this steering rack, see what's going on with it. Cut this clamp. Got a bad seal on the steering rack, or is it something else? Yeah, it might be from the steering rack. Looks like I'm gonna have to look for a new steering rack for this car. That's great, but it's got a lot of freaking brake fluid. I think it's coming out of that in there. It's the return hose. Here's the high pressure hose here. It doesn't look like it's leaking, but well, that was easy. Go. Man, this thing's some junk. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. So yesterday I worked on getting the new inner and outer tie rod ends in. I happened to get the I got the ones in on the passenger side here. Now I also got that all figured out. So I wanted to get the ones on the driver's side done, but unfortunately it started raining out, so I had to kind of call today on that. And if I'm sniffling, it's because it is cold out. It's actually chilly. I won't say it's cold. It's like 40, 45 degrees. We got the driver's side over here. So I got the new sway bar end link in. I got to get the inner and outer tie rod end on back in on this side, and then I'm going to get the muffler done. The one thing to another, measured the length from here out to the end of the outer tie rod end, so I can make sure my measurements are right. Oops. Like I said, I'm going to get this other inner ball joint in, get these front sway bar, any sway bar end links in, and then I'm going to do the muffler, because that has a hole in it. And I asked about that. I asked the guy that did the inspection about why, if there's no emissions here, and why is a car fail on a muffler? And the reason being is because you can have a hole in your exhaust or your muffler or anywhere in your system, and carbon monoxide gets in your car and kills you. So that is why. Which, I don't know, makes sense, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this down all here before everything gets in my way. Alrighty, so I got that sway bar end link on. So you gotta figure out how tight to make it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this new bellow on. The other thing I did was I figured out where I need my nut to be, and this time I put some electrical tape behind the nut, so that way I can make sure I don't go back. If I do go forward, I know where I need to go back to. So let's go ahead, put this other bellow on. So I did research, so as you know, I got kind of surprised. It looks like the steering rack on this car is leaking, so I'm gonna have to go ahead and get a reman steering rack for this car. Nice little surprise, but they're not too expensive. Trying to find one that's an actual ZF rack like this is, not a cam or a TRW, is not easy. I found one through Volvo, surprisingly, or Volvo genuine parts dealer online. I might go through them because that's a real ZF rack. Put it on here, a couple clicks, run it all the way back here. Go. It's back here. Go. You can stick an Allen head in there, and if you got a socket or a wrench, shut there, or you can hold it with the wrench, use the socket. Alright, so we got a new ball joint on, or Jesus, I'm terrible today, guys, I'm sorry. I got the new inner and outer tie rod on this side, got the new sway bar end link on here. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to replace the sway bar bushing while I'm over here, and then I got to go and finish up the other side with the end link and the bushing over there. You know, you buy a car for 2,500 bucks, it's been sitting for 5 years. You never know what surprises you're going to run into. So like my surprise was the steering rack having an issue. So there's that. That out of there. This off. This comes off. I cleaned this out a little bit with some stuff. Alrighty, so I got the new sway bar bushings here. I got the clamps, holders, whatever you want to call them, brackets. For them all cleaned up. Now I did put a little bit of grease on the whole thing, and then I put a little bit of grease where the sway bar will be making contact with the bushing. Just kind of hopefully keep it squeaking down. Sometimes I forget how long this handle is on this damn thing here. Oop. I'm just gonna keep hitting the camera until it's moved back out of my way. I'm just putting that out there. One thing I do have is I have control arm stay bushings. But now I'm looking at them, they don't look too bad. Oop. Alrighty. Yep. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and get the other sway bar end link figured out. That side buttoned up. So on both sides of the car we did inner and outer tie rod ends, new bellows, sway bar end links, sway bar bushings. So when I come back to you guys, we're going to be looking at the muffler and trying to get that figured out, and then hopefully. All right, so I'm gonna have to get a different tripod so you guys can see what's going on. But here's the muffler, and it looks like they might have booger welded this thing on here. Ow! It's brake caliper there. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to get all the spider webs out to get these hangers loose. I'm gonna have to get this cut off. I don't have a Sawzall right now, so I'm gonna have to probably use a my angle grinder with a cutting wheel on it to get it cut off of here. So there we go. Oh, not the I don't have a saw. I mean, I have a Sawzall, but it's not working right. So I'm gonna have to do it. Not the old. All right, here's a new one. Let's see here. There we go. I might have to go get piece of something. Gonna bring it out a little bit. I think I might do. Kind of curious what this thing sounds like without a muffler on it. Shall I find out? Let's find out. Let's do some YouTube content here. Guys, so I'm back. I had to go on parts run, get some lunch, and kind of figure out how I'm going to do this muffler on here. It might not work. It's not gonna work. Yep. Alrighty guys, after a little bit of cussing and swearing and we're trying to make this work, it's on there. It's definitely not how I would want to do it, but it is what it is. So that should hopefully get me through through inspection, and then once I'm through inspection I can go ahead and I'm gonna redo that whole exhaust system, because it's not what I want it to be, but it'll work for now. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do anything else tonight. I don't know if I want to start another project on this car or not. We'll see. Alrighty guys, so the car is back on all fours now. The only thing I did is I put the thermostat in. It's the only thing I did tonight. I don't really have the time or really the energy to do the master cylinder, which is what really needs to get done on this car. But that should be for next time. Hopefully I'll have all the brakes and stuff so I can spend another weekend working on this thing. So hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what I could be doing different. I know I probably did some weird stuff mechanically working on this car this weekend, but it's kind of what I had to do to get it done. So it should be safe, and yeah, I'll see you all around.